Greetings, everyone. It's May 3rd, Sunday evening, and just my musings for today. Pretty much an uneventful day. I obviously exercised the dog quite a bit, as I always do, bathed her again, or rinsed her off. I don't use shampoo on her every day because that can be a little rough on their skin. But she loves her little baths. So walked almost 8 miles today. So got a workout, gave the dog a workout. I went to go see my mom this afternoon. It was kind of fun because I haven't seen her the last couple of days, but I usually bring her lunch. And last night I so enjoyed my dinner at Mario's, my pupusas, and I thought, she might just enjoy that, and I could go for some more. So I swung by Mario's and got some more pupusas and black beans and rice, and they're wonderful black beans. It's like a dip, and took it to her. And to find out she never had Salvadoran food. She never tasted a pupusa in her life, and she's 90 years old. And she absolutely loved the food, and which was good. So we had a really long chat, caught up on the family. My family always has, one of my siblings always have some sort of drama going on in their lives. So she updated me because she talks to my brothers and sister more frequently than I do. So she was filling me in on all the family scoop and drama. And, she once made a comment years ago is like, you're the only somewhat normal one in the family. In the sense that I tend to not have much drama in my life. My oldest brother, Bill, doesn't have much drama in his life either. So, but my other brother, Larry, and my sister, Linda, there always seems to be something going on. But I guess it's just the personalities and how they perceive and handle issues and problems. But so be it. But she was updating me about the stuff that's going on with my one other brother. And I was like, oh, Lord, he just lives in drama. It's always something with him. But, he keeps us entertained. And so we talked about that, and then talked about friends and neighbors and this, that, and the other. And then played with the dog this afternoon. Gave her that long, long walk this afternoon. I actually just got home. It's after 8 o'clock at night. So it was a very long, exhausting walk. But it felt good. It felt really good to be out and about. It was hot. It got to 95 today. So, it got really toasty while on that trail. But I have to say, one thing that has made living through this whole crisis with the coronavirus bearable. And I never would think I would ever have said this, but I've had pets most of my life. Dogs and cats. I love them both. And this is the first time I've had this kind of a relationship with a dog. I mean, I've loved my other dogs and just adored them, but there's something about Trinity that is just so comforting to have her, because I feel like I have company through all of this. So this isolation, no, I don't talk to her. Well, I do talk to her, but she doesn't really always respond. She just looks at me like, what are you talking about? But she has learned to communicate with me, and when she needs certain things, she does these different sounds, and I've learned now what sound means what, whether it's the water bowl, the food bowl, go out to go pee, go out to go poop. I want to play, pay attention to me. I just want to go outside for a little bit. So, she does different sounds for each one of them, and I've learned to react to them. And, but she's been such a great companion, because even though I'm alone through all of this, I'm not alone, because the dog is with me, and she keeps me so much company, and she's so responsive to me. Most of my other dogs just kind of looked at me and just went, huh? Whereas this dog, I interact with quite a bit. I think part of it is that she happens to be a very smart dog. I've never had an intelligent pet before. Love my pets, but I wouldn't call them intelligent. So to have a dog that's so responsive and so interactive has been really a blessing through all of this, because if I get too much in a funk, she'll do something like silly to cheer me up or get me distracted, So she really kind of gets me, and I kind of get her. And it's weird to talk about a pet like if it was a human, but this is the first time in all my life that I've had an animal that I'm having a relationship with, besides just being a dog. So I've grown to really love this dog because I've just never had that with a pet before. She's very unique that way. Probably most people would like, oh, it's just a dog, but if just day in, day out, there seems to be a give and take between us. And I'm really handling this COVID thing better, probably because I have her. So, bless her. She's sitting right behind me chewing on a rawhide. So if you hear the munch, 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 that's what it is. So yeah, she's kept me sane through all of this. And what a gift. What an absolute gift. Because she's a Catahoula, that's the breed she is. I've never had, I've always had little dogs before. I never had a medium-sized dog or kind of large for me. She doesn't look it, but she actually weighs 60 pounds because she's solid muscle. So she's pretty powerful, but she can be so affectionate too at the right moments. So it's a completely different relationship. Isn't that right, Trinity? She's leaning up against me behind me here. But yeah, so yay for pets through crisis. Yay for someone that seems to give me all this unconditional love as she's snuggling up against my butt right now. It's like sometimes she just wants to be so next to me. But yeah, so how are you handling it? How are your pets handling the crisis? She's loving the fact that I'm here so much of the time and not working as much, though she does get massive separation anxiety when I'm not around. But hopefully all of you are doing well. And no news really, except for I did watch a little bit of news today, and we broke the record again today for the most COVID. Well over 250, more than 250 new cases today. We were averaging 90 to 100 about a week ago, and this week every day has been well over 100, and today we hit into the 200s. So obviously this COVID-19 is not over, and I don't know how much worse it's going to get. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen, because it's accelerated not just in Dallas County but throughout the entire state. And we have a problem. And I also read that in Amarillo, which is a much smaller city, has had an explosion of cases there. So we're getting these more rural cities or areas that are more rural in Texas that all of a sudden are having this explosion of people coming down ill and being hospitalized. So this is really not over. If anything, it's accelerating right now. And we're not under the protocols that we were all under just a week ago. So it makes me more concerned about what will happen. I will continue taking precautions. My mom will continue taking precautions. Oh, I did get to go inside my mother's house today. I haven't been inside in weeks. Normally I go there, get together with her and go to her place and go inside her place. Just to check on things. She's 90 years old. Her home was immaculate as always. But she needed help changing a couple of light bulbs. And I didn't want to go in there because, I don't want to, if I'm a carer and I'm breathing, I don't want to infect her surfaces, even though she keeps an immaculate house. So she needed the light bulb changed because it's like her bathroom has no windows and the light bulb was out. So it makes going to the bathroom a little tricky. So she needed that light bulb replaced. And then she had one in her kitchen that needed to be replaced too. But the one in the bathroom was kind of a big deal because it's hard to go pee and poop or shower if you're in the total darkness. So I said, well, hold on a second and I'll run to... She said, well, you can just come in. It's like, no. I'm not coming in right now. Let me run in my car. Because see, in my car, I carry with me at all times a backup of basically PPE, personal protection. And so I went to the car, came back, masked, gloved, so nothing, I would not be contaminating any surfaces of her place. Went in there, did the light bulb changes that she needed, and then stepped out of the house and proceeded to deglove. And she just kind of looked at me and I said, this is actually how you're supposed to remove gloves in case they get contaminated. And so that you don't contaminate yourself if there's contamination in the gloves. And she just looked at me curiously as I was proceeding to peel off the gloves from the underside. And so when you peel it off, the glove inverts. So then basically what was touching your skin is now on the inside of the glove, and then you dispose of the glove. So that if there was something on the exterior of the glove, is now on the interior and is sealed inside the glove. She was impressed. She was like, you tell me you know how to do this? And she's like, just watching you deglove. She was like, okay, I can see when you tell people you know what you're doing, yeah, you are doing it. So it was kind of funny. I got to show off to my mom how I'm protecting myself, and she was impressed. But she was also impressed that I had all that stuff in my car. And it's like, well, because if I need it on the fly, I got to have some. So, yeah, I've got to do that. So I think she also feels better that she now saw me operate and how I do that. And she's like, oh, I guess he is really taking precautions. But it was glad to see that her home was in good condition because, one of the signs, this is for you people who have aging parents that live on their own, if all of a sudden the household starts to look different in the way it's cleaned or maintained or organized, that there's a shift in it, it can signal that it's basically a sign of or a red flag that there's some mental decline happening. To see her condo like it always is good. But just be aware of that. That's something to always look for if there's ever a change in a personal hygiene, but also in the habitation of where a person is living that's aged. And sometimes it's not necessarily mental decline. Sometimes it's physical decline. They can't maintain the place clean. So it was good to see that she was still spotless and very organized. All right. So that's my story. Don't have many assignments this week. I only have 2 assignments this week. Both are court hearings. We're going to attempt now to do something different with the court hearings. We've been trying to do it telephonically, and it's not working too well because I'm an interpreter. I have to interpret everything that's being said. And usually I do it consecutively into the ear of the Spanish speaker. But of course we can't do that, so we're all remotely, so I'm trying to do it over the phone. So we have to, instead of doing simultaneous interpretation, because then nobody could hear each other, I have to do it consecutively since the Spanish speaker's on the phone. And it just, with the connections, it just has not been easy. So we're going to attempt this week to do it via video conferencing. Hopefully, it'll still have to be consecutive because I can't speak, because my voice basically is going to carry through. So that we can't have 2 people talking at the same time. But if we do it consecutively on video camera, I think there'll be less confusion of who's saying what, because that was part of the confusion. We had one trial where the 2 attorneys, opposing counsel attorneys, their voice sounded identical. It was very hard to identify who was who. So it made it very confusing. Now that we're on video conferencing, at least we'll know, we can see who is talking. So hopefully that will go well, and then we can start doing more hearings again, because that's the bulk of my work normally, and I've barely had any. And that's the part of my job that pays the best. The CPS pays okay, but where I make my money really is on court hearings, and just haven't been having those. So, all right, have a good evening or good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time of day you see this video. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off and do my crazy little, where's the button thing? Oh, there it is. I'm getting better to finding it.